it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations. I know I haven't posted in a little while. My videos may be few and far between for the next month or two as I go through a few changes in life and try and get some of my affairs in order. So I am just so excited to bring you this super cute card. This is done with the Sale-a-bration set, Beautiful Peacock, and it is so fun. This has so many different possibilities, but I wanted to showcase this card today. I did a challenge in my VIP group on Facebook, and I'm calling this sketch a magic mirror card. So it's not necessarily with a belly band, and I will put the picture of the sketch on the screen right here so you can kind of compare and see what it looks like. It's not originally supposed to be done with a belly band, but one of my ladies did a belly band and I thought that was so cute and clever, so I wanted to kind of copy her, case her idea, and do a belly band with it. So I used the Beautiful Peacock to embellish my belly band, and the card just opens like a gatefold, and there's the inside. So we have a few decorations in here as well. And then the belly band just slides back on to hold everything together. Super easy to do. I hope that you have not done a belly band before so that I can show you how it's done. Let's get started. All right, so let's start with our materials. I'll set this aside. We have a piece of cardstock. This is Soft Sky, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5. It's just a standard card base, but we're not going to score it in the middle. We're going to actually be scoring it on the edges, and we'll do that in a minute. I also have 2 pieces of basic gray cardstock. These are the same size. These are for our front panels, and they measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I have a very vanilla matte and a basic gray matte for the inside of my card. The vanilla measures 4 by 5 1/4, and the basic gray measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I have 2 pieces for my belly band. Again, we have our Soft Sky and our basic gray. The basic gray piece measures 3/4 by 8.5, and the Soft Sky piece measures 1 inch by 8.5. And then I also have a scrap piece of very vanilla cardstock here that I am going to be stamping and cutting out my decorations for my belly band. So that's the peacock, the feathers here and here, and our sentiment down here at the bottom. Let's get our card base assembled so that we can get that part done and out of the way. So I'm going to take my Stampin' trimmer, and I'm going to be using the score blade on here to make my scores. So I'm going to put my cardstock in with the long edge at the top, and I'm going to line the left edge up with 2 1/8. That's the little mark between 2 inches and 2 1/4. So we're doing 2 1/8, and I'm going to use the scoring blade to score that. Now I'm just going to flip it around and do the same thing. So again, we're going to score it on this side at 2 1/8. Now we're going to take our bone folder, fold it over, make sure the top and the bottom are lined up, and then give that a crease, and repeat on the other side. And there is your basic gatefold card. Now before we stick the other pieces to our card, we're going to do a little bit of stamping to kind of pep this up a little bit. So I have my very vanilla card mat for the inside, and then I have my 2 basic gray panels that will go on the front outside of our card. Let's stamp our very vanilla first. So I have my fun little flourish from the beautiful Peacock set right here mounted up. And I'm going to take my basic gray archival Stampin' pad, and we're just going to stamp a couple in the corners, in the lower right and the upper left. And I'm going to kind of stamp it off the edge a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate it and do the same thing in the other corner. All right, so we're done with that piece. Now we're going to stamp the same stamp onto our two front panel pieces. And I like to stamp them together because it looks pretty neat when it looks like the image is just continuous across these panels. So we're going to just randomly stamp this all over these two pieces. All right, let's get our card base assembled so that we can start on our embellishment. So I'm using my snail adhesive to add my panels to the front of my card. And remember which panel goes where if you have stamped it together. We're going to put this one right here. All right, and now for the inside of our card. And when I am doing a large card mat, I like to use my liquid glue because it lets me have just a little bit of wiggle room if I need to move it slightly in one direction or another. Okay, press that down and let that hold for a second. Make sure both of your sides still fold in. And again, the same thing with our vanilla piece. I'm going to use a little bit less glue on this piece since this is the top layer and it's thinner than the other cardstock. All right, now that our card base is done, we're going to set that aside and let it dry while we do our belly band. So I have some scrap pieces of cardstock here in the soft sky and the basic gray, along with two pieces from the Layering Ovals framelits dies. I have a scallop, which I will be cutting out of my soft sky, and I have a straight, which I will be cutting out of my basic gray. So I'm going to put these guys in here and get those cut out for our belly band. All right, so for our very vanilla scrap that we're going to be stamping and fussy cutting our main images out with, I'm going to use our adhesive sheets. These things are awesome for making your own stickers, and especially when you're using die cuts or something like that, they work perfect for putting on your paper before you cut your image out. However, I'm not going to run these through the Big Shot. I'm going to be fussy cutting them, but they still work really well for adhering these pieces to our belly band accent. So I'm just going to peel the backing off of them and stick them down onto my cardstock here. And these are just a couple of scraps. They come in large sheets, so they are perfect for a lot of different applications. All right, so now we're going to do some stamping with our Soft Sky Classic Stampin' Pad. I'm going to open that up And the first thing I want to stamp is the beautiful peacock background. Now, this is not pink ink, it's just stained, very, very stained, because I use this all the time. I love this stamp set. So we're just going to ink that up and then get that stamped right down onto our vanilla. And you want to make sure that you leave enough room for the head of the peacock when you get him stamped down too. And I have this fun peacock feather that's curved. So I'm going to stamp 2 of those. Now we're going to get that basic gray out again. We're going to stamp our peacock. And he is going to be carefully placed right here. Now I'm at a funny angle, so let's see if I can get this lined up for you. Okay, so there's the peacock, and then we're also going to stamp our little sentiment, beautiful friend. So we'll stamp that down here in the corner. Okay, so let's get those cut out and put onto our card. All right, I have my pieces all cut. I'm going to assemble my belly band, and to do that, I'm just going to take the backside of my basic gray, and I'm just gonna run some snail on the back of that to adhere that to my soft sky piece. And then we're going to pop up our basic gray straight oval with some dimensionals. And now to get our beautiful peacock and accent pieces stuck down. So all we're going to do is peel off that backing and get them put right on down. So I'm actually going to put these first so that they go behind the peacock. And I want to angle these at the top of the oval and at the bottom of the oval. And then we'll put our peacock right in the middle. And we'll use some of our beautiful rhinestones to bling up that peacock a little bit. Now, these are still the old style. I'm almost done with all of my rhinestones so that I can start using the new style. The only difference is the new style does not have the strips anymore. All right, so to get our belly band around our card, we're going to turn it upside down, put our card on top, and then you're just going to wrap it around. Now, if it's easier for you to kind of gauge the measurements, you can certainly use a piece of our grid paper. And when you have your grid paper out, just lay your belly band down in the center of your grid paper and kind of line it up so that it's in the middle. And then you can lay your card base on top of that, and you can center that as well. Now you know that your belly band is the same on each side, so you can just bring it up and simply fold it over just like that. Do the same with the other side. Now it's not going to meet completely, and that is okay. In fact, it's a little bit better if it doesn't meet completely. That will allow us a little bit more wiggle room to get our card in and out. So I'm not going to crease these too hard. I'm just going to very carefully just fold them over. See how it just kind of relaxes open a little bit? So I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to pop up my embellishment right in the middle. Now this can be a little bit tricky if you're having some issues with getting your fingers to do what you want them to do, but it's not too bad. So one dimensional on each side, take off the backing on those. And now we're going to very carefully get that in the middle. And it just has to be centered with the belly band. Don't worry about centering it with your actual card yet. The belly band will slide up and down, so you don't have to worry about getting it centered from the top and the bottom of your card. Just as long as it's centered on the belly band, you will be fine. And I've just cut out the sentiment in a little rectangle. We're just gonna put that right down here in the corner of our card. And there we are, creators. There is our fun belly band gatefold card for my VIP challenge magic mirror. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And be sure to tap that bell icon if you're watching on YouTube to make sure that you get notified when I upload a new video. Be sure to leave me a comment and let me know which card you prefer. Do you like the detail in the background on this card, or do you like it a little bit more plain and simple? Congratulations to Pam. She is the winner of our Magic Mirror Challenge over in my VIP group on Facebook. If you would like the chance to be in that VIP group and participate in these sketch challenges, head over to melissascreations.com and click on that Shop Now button. All you need to do is be a customer of mine to get access to that group and everything that it entails. More details on my website. You can also follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/mcreations and on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest with the handle at mcreations. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Because this will slide up and down. Oh, I lost a little guy. Come back.